So is this an enjoyable film? Yes, definitely it is. Is it the kind of film that I would want, because it's animation, do I want to take my kids? Of course, take your kids. It's Illumination. And they do a great job telling a story for kids and actually for adults. They were able to bridge that very well. What other question would you ask yourself? Are there some horror elements? Why do I mention the horror elements? There are some few horror elements that you may think that they're going to be uncomfortable for your kids, but they're actually fun. Funny enough, they're actually fun. They actually watch and go like, this is not going to affect my kid. They actually make sense. Well, they make sense in a way by how they are used in the film. So if you were to put it in a Sam Raimi film, it would be terrifying. But since it's in this film, yeah, it's okay. The other question that you probably out of the box ask yourself is the story. Would I want to invest in this story? Am I just going to walk out and feel like I wasted my time? No, it's not. It's actually, this is so simple. This is such a simple story that your kid will understand it and it will make you smile. Let me put it this way. There's a scene that they actually have a projection and they show the bad guys and the good guys and everything is color coded. So what the bad guy is about to do is illustrated very well. So your kid and yourself will not have to rethink and think and crack your brain trying to figure out what the motivation of the bad guy is. So with that, let's start with the official review. So let's go. This movie got it right. Finally, this movie got it right. This is a movie that you can enjoy as an adult and the children can actually enjoy as children. It's not too complex for children to understand, and it's way nostalgic for us as the adults to actually understand, because we grew up playing Super Mario. The characters, the world, everything feels familiar. In fact, there's some scenes that come straight out of the video game. I mean, with the jumping and, you know, everything is so, with the pipes, everything is just what we remember growing up playing. The Game Boy, the Nintendo 64, you know, it's also familiar. It's also what we exactly expected. What I did not expect is actually a good story. This is a Mario story, and it felt like they had figured out that they wanted to tell a brother, a bro. They did not miss the point and remove the bros out of the Super Mario Brothers. The brother concept is very strong in this particular film. It actually has some scenes that actually, they do some flashbacks and you actually see the relationship between Mario and Luigi from a different angle. You see what they had to go through. You understand why Luigi and Mario are so close. And despite the fact that it's a family, right? They're supposed to love each other, but there's something that they do that you understand where they're coming from. Now, this movie made it easy it feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. You know, if you're from the 90s, it feels familiar in terms of how it's paced, number one, and the story in itself. The motivations are so clear. I mean, the bad guy's motivation is absolutely clear. It's not something that you have to think about. There's no twist. There's no need of the directors or the writers and the producers trying to subvert our expectation. It's just a good old simple motivation. Simple enough for the kids to understand. Simple for you as an adult to smile and actually laugh about it. So yeah, it had a sense of fun in it. Fun in terms of, forget about the poppy colors, forget about the character design. Fun in terms of, oh, we've done this. Fun in terms of adventure. We are here, we are doing this, but yes, we need to do this so that we can jump and go to the other place so that we can get something else. And before we go there, we meet different people. But before we go there, we have to go through this thing. And it's just adventure again. It's something that I've not seen in a very long time. Just simple adventure, whereby you see concepts that, yes, you saw them in the video game, but they've been expanded in such a way that it all becomes fun. They finally got right the idea that source material is not there to be disrespected. A source material is there to be respected, and then you build upon that. You build on top of that, because they didn't go like, oh, you see the Mario world, you're supposed to do this and make it maybe grittier or make it more colorful or make it more realistic. No, they took the Mario world and just recreated it and made it the way it was, the way it's familiar in the video games, but in such a way that it's expanded in a way that it feels kind of realistic. It feels lived in. It feels like a place rather than just a video game screen. Now, the Toads, for me, were the best part in terms of animation and in fact of just their culture and how they behave. It's so fun. They're so cute. And I think one of the characters says that. They're so cute and dumb in a way that they just make you smile. Apart from them, there's also a particular blue character that pops up every now and then that the kids loved because the character was cute. But what the character was talking about was was some really dark things. But I think it's a kid who voiced that thing, that particular character, because it's so bleak. It's so bleak, yet they're so cute, and they put it in such a way that it just makes you laugh, despite the fact that it's not a laughable matter. It's everyone else is telling the character to shut up, but the character does it in such a way that it just, as an adult, it leaves you laughing awkwardly, because you know that they're talking about something that is dark, but then they're doing it in such a way that it's so funny. And it's those small things. Here's the thing about Illumination. What they do is they focus on those small things, those small gags, and they also like to do things in the background. They usually, with the animations, what you're looking at in the foreground, or the main thing, or the area, the point of interest, they'll have whatever is supposed to be happening in the scene happen. But then they're going to be doing these small things in the background that if you're not keen, you'll miss them. And I saw a lot, especially when they went to Donkey Kong's whatever, and they're talking to someone. I don't want to spoil the experience for you, because I went in without knowing a lot of things, and I had a pleasant time, and I'm not going to spoil it for everyone. So there's someone that they go to see, and so he's having a conversation with them, and he tells them, yo, I'm done, you can go away. So what he does, it's pretty weird, because you expect him to do it you expect the character to do it in a particular way, but they do it in another particular way that just leaves you smiling and laughing. So it was just moments like this that were keeping me smiling. This movie is what I've been looking for a very long time in terms of just fun and adventure. It works perfectly for kids, and as an adult, if you played Game Boy, if you played 64, if you played any Nintendo Mario games, especially from that particular part, it's very nostalgic. You have a lot of elements that are borrowed directly from the game and brought in such a way that it does not take away from the game, and it does not take away from the movie. They found that very beautiful balance of the video game and the movie, and how to bring all those video game aspects into film, but not make it too complex, so that people who've never played have a hard time. They don't make it feel like you have to have played Mario to actually watch it. But if you've played Mario, you have a great understanding, and some things just leave you with a smile on your face, because they're so familiar. They come from the childhood, man. Now, apart from all that, the music, the theme, especially, they use a theme, an adventure theme. Apart from the music, there's music. They play a lot of 80s music, which, let's not go into that for now. Let's just focus on the theme. The theme is, I think of it as adventure, action adventure. It has that fast-paced action adventure feel, epic. Sometimes I was conflicted, because it feels it's an animation. You're watching an animation, but the theme that they're using makes everything look epic, make everything look grand, make everything look bigger than it's supposed to be, and that just again puts you in that vibe of fast-pacing action adventure. I'm having a good time. This is epic, and the visuals support that. Now, when it now goes back to music, because they did this thing of they play the theme, and when they're about to turn to do something, they add a song. And fortunately or unfortunately, some songs you've had you've had them from different movies. There's one song that I had from, should I spoil it for you? No, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But there are some songs that are going to pop up that are going to remind you of Thor Ragnarok. There are some songs that will remind you of Guardian of the Galaxy. There are some songs that will remind you of Teen Titans Go, the movie. There are just things like that, that the songs that they use are, let me just put it this way. Some songs that they use are 80s songs that are very popular. They're very nostalgic, and they actually make sense to be there. Now, apart from that, I think that was the only thing that I can complain about the film. The fact that the music that they used was overused in Hollywood. Let me just use that word. They used music that has been overused. I expected them to do something different. Like, for example, if you're watching a James Gunn movie, you know that he's going to bring out songs that you've never heard. Random songs from somewhere. So the music that they used in this film is not coming from somewhere different. It's very, very familiar. Now, apart from all that, it's the one thing that I'm not going to be preached, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to talk about a particular scene that has a rainbow. Now, when the rainbow popped up, because I had not interacted with a lot of the promotional material for this film, so some things that were happening, I did not know that they were happening. So when a certain rainbow pops up, I closed my eyes and I went like, oh my goodness, here we go. Let's prepare ourselves. I thought they were avoiding it, but here we go. They're going to preach to us. But fortunately, that particular rainbow is a very pivotal point of the story. It's used to drive the story. It's used to drive the plot. It's not just there for a particular purpose, for the purpose that you think and the purpose that I thought. It's used to do something. It's utilized. Let me put it that way. It leads somewhere. It's used to do something that I thought was pretty awesome in terms of the action part of the particular movie. Now, what else did I like about this movie? Now, the other thing that they got right is the fact that the actors, the voice actors, you probably think, oh, Chris Pratt is playing Mario. You hand there, oh, it's me, it's Mario. And you thought, is Chris Pratt going to hack the accents? I mean, Charlie from It's Always in Philadelphia is also in this movie. Seth Rogen is also in this movie. So you might possibly think that they are going to be noticeable and they're going to be obvious and they're going to maybe still. Jack Black is in the film and you think, oh, they're going to be themselves in this film. Funny enough, I forgot. To be honest, I forgot that these great actors were in this film because they hacked the story, they hacked the pacing, they were able to engage me enough to forget that these were these superstars. It's only some few moments every now and then I would remember that it's actually Jack Black, and I remember that because of the fact that they used rock music in a particular scene, and I remembered that Jack Black likes rock music and I can hear his voice. And the other thing is Seth Rogen, when he comes in as a character, I don't want to spoil it for you, when he comes in, I'm like, wait, I'm like, it's Seth Rogen, and I'm like, is he going to be annoying? But fortunately, the story picks everything and makes you forget. The story picks up everything and makes you forget. So yeah, this was actually a very good time. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. This is a very enjoyable film. Take your kids. Your kids will have a great time. But for yourself, if you loved Mario, you're also going to have a great time. So yeah, and that's Mario. Thanks for watching, and I will definitely see you on the next one.